So this video is, I already said this earlier, but you guys know that Carl did that huge video.
Would upload a new world record.
Carl did that huge video with calling out Queen and worked with Juicy on that. And now, do you remember that video I did that Juicy did? Juzzy, I always say your name wrong. I'm so sorry, dude. Where he called out cheaters for using like for forcing the monsters to do specific attacks and stuff. And I watched it and my brain was fried. Because Jizzy went over all like the coding and all like the super behind the scenes Monster Hunter programming shit, and my brain was like doo doo and I couldn't. Yeah, the AI manipulation. And he like went over all like the coding behind it, and my brain was broken trying to understand it. So Carl is worked with Juzzy to make a video for himself about it, and my hope is that because it's Carl and he's trying to appeal to people who don't know coding, the general audience, so maybe he'll probably have simplified it a bit. We'll see, but I'm really excited. But it's basically the same. It's the same topic that Juicy went over. And Juicy went over this like what, like a couple months ago? Let's see what Carl has to say though.
Hello, you absolute legends. In 2023, the Monster Hunter World speedrunning community began to witness something astonishing. A Chinese speedrunner known as Bad Cat started to dominate the game in
Is that the same person? Is that the... I don't remember their name from Juzzy's video being Bad Cat.
a way that no one had ever seen. They were crushing world records left and right. It seemed like every few days they would upload a new world record, and there was no monster they couldn't completely dominate. This shouldn't really happen, at least not in Monster Hunter. This is because, as is true for many games when it comes to speedrunning, Monster Hunter is very luck dependent. Yes, in order to achieve world...
That's why I never really like watching speedruns where they use mods to spawn the monster in a specific spot, because to me that gets rid of the RNG of Monster Hunter, and I like Monster Hunter's RNG.
Record, you need a lot of skill and a lot of knowledge about the game, but you also need the monsters to cooperate. Monster behavior is random, and certain monster actions allow you to use more optimal strategies. If you get lucky and the monster chooses favorable actions, you can do damage quicker and kill them faster.
Yeah, so I remember now. Juzzy went over the dude who did the Elatrion AI manipulation. So that dude was manipulating Elatrion's moveset to make sure that he always did favorable moves to get the most DPS. I remember that now.
Normally, players would need to grind monsters for a long time to get the best luck, but not this speedrunner. This force from the east would get optimal luck extremely quickly, far quicker than anyone else, and they were accumulating a world record tally that was unbelievable. The other speedrunners felt like this shouldn't be.
I just noticed the like, whatever mod they're using. Oops. Volume. Okay, the mod they were using. Oh, wait, no. I don't want to do that. What am I doing? Volume. I didn't know I could change volume like this. What are you doing? You're supposed to go back, not change volume. The frick. What I was trying to show was the weird-ass mod they were using for their character.
Quickly, far quicker than anyone else, and they were accumulating a world record tally that was unbelievable.
It
The other
like a VR
speedrunners
chat
felt
model.
like this shouldn't be possible, but just saying that someone is getting too lucky isn't really good enough. Unless, of course, the odds are stupidly unrealistic. However, the real truth would soon be revealed, when another speedrunner noticed that one of the monsters did something that shouldn't be possible. This wasn't an instance of monster behavior that was just unlikely, this was something no one else had ever seen before.
Is it Rajang or the Elatrion
in the history of the game. And sure enough, when experts checked the game files and examined...
here it is! Here's the shit that I couldn't understand from Juicy's video.
the code, it was confirmed. This particular action at this particular time wasn't possible. It was clear that this speedrunner was modifying the game and changing the way that monsters behave in order to kill them faster. After they were exposed, this speedrunner stopped uploading runs, but on their very last upload, the title was different from the others. It now revealed the truth, that it was tool assisted.
That's what it is! Tool assisted! I remember that now.
Monster Hunter has a cheating problem, and over the
Yes,
past
it
several
does.
months, a slew of speedrunners have been exposed as hacking the game to get unrealistic monster behavior. And
People just can like not speedrun any game, not even just Monster Hunter. Like why can speedrunners just like not cheat? Like I was watching the Osu video of the Osu cheater, and like just why? Can you just like not cheat? Can you just be like a legit speedrunner? Like if you don't have the capabilities to get top speedruns, then don't be a speedrunner or practice more. I don't understand why you have to cheat.
what's worse is that they are racking up millions of views with unaware viewers that believe they're
How do you cheat Osu? The Carl actually did a video on that. This guy was cheating Osu by altering his keyboard inputs. It was something to do about how the game recognizes whether you push down or release on the keyboard, stuff like that. It's hard to explain. Carl has a video about it though. I would watch that.
achievements are completely real. In this video, we will take a look at how speedrunners are cheating their way into Monster Hunter fame and earning a pretty penny while doing it. I really hope you enjoy. Now legends, this video is brought to you by the heroes over at Red Magic. Red Magic specialize in creating professional gaming equipment, and they have just released their brand new gaming mobile, the Red Magic 9S Pro. A look.
Okay.
The link is in the description.
Yeah, go click it. Anyways.
RNG is a variable that gamers have to deal with in almost every single game that exists. It's the very thing that drives enemy behavior in order to achieve a more unpredictable and interesting gaming experience. In speedrunning, enemy behavior is almost always one of the most impactful variables. We need enemies to do certain things at certain times in order to get things done in the quickest time. And in a game like Monster Hunter, monster behavior is almost everything. That's because the entire game revolves around fighting monsters. In Monster Hunter, players begin quests which involve slaying a particular monster. Once the monster is slayed and the quest is completed, the game shows your completion time. It's this in-game timer that speedrunners and the general community use to time their runs. Speedrunning Monster Hunter involves a lot of planning. Players theorize and craft special builds and try to plan.
That's why I love the idea of learning Monster Hunter speedrunning, but it's so much fucking work. Like having to do scripting and all kinds of stuff. Like it's so intense. I just want to like zone in, kill a monster as fast as possible, and then be done. But like speedrunning is never that simple. It's always so complicated.
And out as best they
No,
can.
I don't want to
skills
script. Scripting is so much work. I just want to bonk and kill as fast as
they will
possible.
implement and in what order. Players also need to plan when and where they will deal damage to fully take advantage of in-game mechanics. Each monster has unique.
I want no scripting speedrun percent. That's what I want.
Damage thresholds that allow you to stun,
Thank you for the digs.
stagger, or knock them down. And doing these at the optimal time will give you the greatest amount of control over the monster, so you can continue to do as much damage as possible. This requires.
I hate seeing that greatsword now. I'm sure you guys know why, but I see that greatsword now and I'm just like, I don't want to look at you anymore.
Requires a lot of calculation, and runners spend a lot of time planning which attacks to use, when to use them, and which areas of the monsters to target. This is called scripting, and players will try to script as much of each fight as they can.
I know.
However,
I like scripting to me, I don't find it fun. Granted, I've like never really done it, but to me, scripting is just like not how I like. Monster Hunter to me is all about the RNG, and scripting just like is still fighting Monster Hunter's RNG to me. So I'm just like, it just kind of ruins the fun of it in my mind. But I'm not like hating on it. Like I know that's what like speedrunners do. It's just like, yeah, I want to fight moment to moment, not script. That's me personally.
As monsters become stronger and the fights grow longer, this adds more and more RNG into the mix.
Also, imagine being one of these lucky people who got their like videos featured in Carl's video. Like, you guys are lucky. I'm jealous. Yes, the Electron cheater used that great sword.
Obviously, if a fight is longer, a monster will execute more actions, and because each action is random, things become less and less predictable. And
yeah, I like the random. I like the unpredictability. Obviously, I like the predictability aspect of Monster Hunter where you learn their moveset in a way where you know, like, okay, their body is moving this specific way, which means they're about to do this specific move. I like that because that's like a learning curve and a practice curve, and that means like you know the monster so well that you can recognize that pattern. But scripting to me is like not the same for me. Me.
This is especially important because some actions are more beneficial than others. Some attacks don't require you to dodge or move around as much, and thus you can keep attacking and doing damage. The best Monster Hunter speedrunners have fights down to a science, and they know the best ways to punish any particular move a monster does. But because each move is punishable by a different amount, getting lucky is going to help you kill the monster quicker, and getting unlucky can completely destroy any chances of a new record. For example, when fighting against the monster Alatreon, which you will remember from my videos looking at Queen Ponsalot's fake blindfold runs,
Yes,
when
we
using
remember.
the heavy bow gun, runners hope that the monster does the lightning rain attack as much as possible. During this attack, the runner can continue to spam attacks and they don't need to move. One runner that got particularly lucky with Alatreon was a runner known as Deva. Deva is certainly
There we go. This is the dude that Jizzy made the video on. This was Juicy's original video, was all on this guy, and this was all about the manipulation that he did. Thank you for the sub to Nana Kyle. Thank you.
one of the most well-known Monster Hunter speedrunners in the entire world, and have used their speedruns to help build a modestly successful YouTube channel, boasting over 70,000 subscribers and tens of millions of channel views. Deva is a really good speedrunner. On their About section, they claim over 50 speedrunning world records, and according to Deva himself, he is the #1 speedrunner in the world.
Actually.
And now, right now, in the position I am, I have no one to look up to. Like, I don't, sadly.
Oh.
And that's
Such a
bad
douche.
because you can't improve anymore.
I'm
like,
so good. I have
you
no
can't
one to look
improve
up to.
if you don't have anyone to
Factually.
look up to.
Deva was well known in the speedrunning community for his lucky runs, and on his Alatreon runs especially, it was unbelievable how well behaved the monster seemed to be. For the past several years, Deva was light years ahead of the other speedrunners, beating Alatreon much faster than anyone else ever had. On his 2 fastest runs, Alatreon's behavior throughout the entire fight was almost identical, and Alatreon was spamming lightning rain more than anyone else had ever experienced. More specifically, and what's noteworthy, is that Alatreon did the
Oh no, that's the whole thing about this man, is like he was not humble at all. He was a cocky piece of shit, and he was cocky for cheating. That's like the best part. Like, you're not humble, you're cocky, you're claiming you have no one to look up to, but the whole time you're cheating. So like, yeah, of course, who are you going to look up to, because you're the only one who's cheating this hard.
lightning rain move twice in a row, which seemed to be particularly rare. The speedrunner Juzzy decided to look into these runs
Juzzy.
because they just seemed a bit suspicious. He asked other speedrunners if they had ever seen Alatreon use lightning rain twice in a row, and the answer was always no. No one else had ever seen it. Truthfully, no one else even thought it was possible for Alatreon to do this, and yet Deva had it happen multiple times.
I am super sad these people exist. So like, I used to think, I mean, I still think the Monster Hunter community is great. I had like nothing about good things to say about the Monster Hunter community. And like, I was legitimately shocked when the whole Queen shit came out, because I did not at that time realize that people would cheat at Monster Hunter that hard. Like, there's always been mods that cheat at Monster Hunter, but normally it's just like something that only benefits them, and they don't like try to cheat the speedrunning system and try to like cheat people watching and that kind of thing. It was always just like, oh, I have like a mod in Rise that makes all the birds come to me immediately kind of thing. And like, that was whatever. I still hated it, and I never wanted people like that in my lobbies, but it wasn't as big as like this or the Queen drama that was basically like manipulating and cheating an entire community at that point. And like, that was so disappointing. Like, yeah, she was never really part of the community, because like, I didn't even know who the fuck she was until she cheated. But it's still just so like disheartening that someone would want to like fuck with our community like that. Like, leave us alone, go away.
Juzzy then asked someone
fuck
from
with
the
any
Monster Hunter
community, but-
modding community to look into the game's code, specifically the probabilities that govern Alatreon's
No,
behavior.
not the
and as it turns
nodes.
out, it should be literally impossible for Alatreon to do this move twice in a row. Juzzy confronted Deva about this, and initially, Deva completely denied it. But after learning that Juzzy was about to
Yeah, go mess with the DVD community. Get out of here.
go public with a video exposing Deva's
Promising to gift all the subs from that fake challenge to charity. Wait, did she promise to do that? She was gonna gift all her subs from the challenge to charity? I didn't know that was a thing. And I'm honestly not surprised that she didn't do it, but I didn't know that was a promise in the first place.
Cheating, he confessed to changing the enemy's AI in order to get faster speedruns.
There is so-called THK files, which basically alter the percentage of certain moves, and that has been used in my Alatron on the Charge Blade run, which had like a higher percentage to increase the lightning attacks.
But what's interesting is that Deva claimed that hacking the game to do this isn't wrong. According to Deva, it's not cheating if you change...
That baffles me. How can you think that like not hacking the game isn't wrong? I don't understand. You're literally hacking the game files. How is that wrong? Not wrong. How is that not wrong? She said she was gonna give it to a cyberbullying charity. The fucking irony. Oh my gosh. Don't forget, guys, I am a bully because I did react videos to Queen's content. So that made me a bully, and I am a bad person. And also don't forget, hacking the game files is not cheating.
Changes enemy behavior because his speedruns are just for content and aren't competitive.
In my opinion, there is nothing wrong with it. It's RNG. It's RNG manipulation, just like everything.
How the fuck is manipulating the RNG of a game that is solely based around RNG not cheating? Like that blows my mind so much. Like, how delusional can you be?
Everything else. Everyone can think differently. Of course, you can.
Everyone but you thinks differently. I don't think there's a single person out here who thinks the same way that this dude does. Like, you can think differently. Yeah, you can, and we all will.
It's an unfair advantage, but of course, as I said, I do non-competitive runs. It's just content.
But as shown before,
It's not just content, though. If he was just doing content, okay, fine. But, like, then he would have to put in his... like the title of the video and the description of the video, and he'd have to make it really fucking clear that he was doing this manipulation, and he didn't. Yeah, no, there was no disclaimer on his videos. So he can't claim that it's just content because he didn't put a disclaimer. That's
isn't
cheating.
how Deva advertises his channel. He says he has legitimate world records.
There we go. Yeah,
and
exactly. See, yeah, legitimate. He claims they're legitimate, so therefore it's cheating. It is not a content creation thing. It is cheating.
He ever publicly stated on any of his runs that the enemy's behavior has been modified, and as a result, all of his viewers think they are real. And some of the comments are pretty funny when you know that he modifies the game.
Dude's game's so weird, I have this bug where the monster fights back.
Despite what Deva claims, no reasonable person would ever see these videos and think they were anything other than a legitimate speedrun. And beyond this, Deva is just straight up lying. While the main Monster Hunter World speedrunning leaderboards are no longer updated, Deva did submit his runs to them in the past, and his runs, which were world records at the time, are confirmed to also be hacked because of impossible.
Yeah, look at that. Like, his is 1 minute 55 seconds, and the actual legit run below him is like almost 30 seconds longer, which is a huge deal. It's 30 seconds in speedrunning. That's a big deal, assuming this Jackdaw person is also legit.
Enemy behavior. What's also troubling is that according to Deva, many other players are doing the same thing. And he knows this because they asked him directly for the same software that allows him to do it.
And a lot of people use it. I won't mention any names, but I cannot count with two hands how many people use THK editing for that, especially on Alatron. Many of your friends, many runners that you know, and I have screenshots of many people that ask for it, but of course I won't out any of it.
Remember at the beginning of the video I described the Chinese speedrunner Badcat, who was dominating the game throughout the past year. This was actually one of Deva's friends, though it was a different impossible behavior that exposed him. During the fight Calf Taroth, the monster did a move right before dying called Max Punch. This move had never been seen during this particular phase of the fight by other speedrunners, so the monster's behavior was decompiled. and it was proven that this behavior was impossible.
I did not know that that move was called Max Punch. I don't know why that sounds so funny. Colvey doing Max Punch. It sounds like something that should be in an anime. Max Punch! Sorry.
Against Alatreon, the monster performed the sweeping fire breath move when Bad Cat was standing relatively close. Usually this move is only performed when you're some distance away.
Sounds like a Pokemon move. It sounds like something that would be like done in My Hero or something. Yeah, exactly. It sounds exactly like United States of Smash.
At least, that was the experience of all of the other speedrunners. And once again, after looking at the game's code, they found it was impossible for Alatreon to choose that particular attack when you're standing that close. On the 1st of May, Juzzy uploaded a video of these findings. Previously, Bad Cat was uploading a new world record every few days.
I didn't know
but
Juzzy
after
uploaded
Juzzy's video,
that.
he uploaded one last video with the title, including the tag TAS, indicating a tool-assisted speedrun, and he hasn't been seen since. Another friend of Deva was a speedrunner known as Retro.
I remember
he
this
claimed
guy.
the fastest Alatreon kill using the hammer.
No,
And his
I remember because he did my hammer dirty. So bad. So dirty.
run again involved ridiculous luck, meaning that no one else was even close. In his case, on top of being lucky, Alatreon exhibited behavior that no one else had ever seen. After
Also, that's such a weird looking hammer. It looks tiny and I don't like it.
taking a certain amount of damage, Alatreon will transition into his dragon state. And after this transition, after performing several attack combos, Alatreon normally jumps into the air and begins to fly. For melee weapons, this greatly limits their ability to do damage. However, in Retro's run, Alatreon never flew, not a single time. And
That is weird. Okay, because like I tried to do my solo Elatreon run like 2 weeks ago, and the most annoying thing about it was Elatreon flying. Especially as a hammer user, Elatreon flying is so freaking annoying, and I would like be so elated if Elatreon would never fly during my run. I would be so happy, but it's not gonna happen.
And this allowed Retro to continue doing maximum damage with the hammer. And once again, when this specific area of Alatreon's code was examined, it was confirmed that after 3 or 4 attack combos, Alatreon is programmed to always fly. And the fact that Alatreon didn't fly on Retro's run confirmed that he was modding his game. When he was exposed,
if you're gonna cheat, why would you do something so obvious too? Like, why would you cheat such an obvious move as making Elatreon not fly?
Retro claimed that he was using a no-fly mod to make his casual play more fun, and he
I got the run and posted when I realized I made private and tried to do it again but couldn't. Wait, what? That made no sense.
accidentally left it on. It's important to remember that
Accidentally left it on. Accidentally. You did this entire run and Elatreon never flew and you accidentally left it on and you're like, oh, well, that must have been legit.
one of the things that caught these runners out, these impossible monster behaviors, weren't intentional. It was an unintended side effect of modifying the probabilities of certain moves. But now that the impossible behavior has been identified, these modders will simply make their hacks more sophisticated, and these blemishes will be patched out. These are just several examples. Even more
I'm gonna be honest, Monster Hunter needs an anti-cheat thing. I know it'll piss modders off, like people who like to mod, but like this shit needs to stop so fucking badly.
cheaters have been caught, and there are a lot of other speedrunners that also show these same telltale signs of being too lucky. If what Deva is saying is true, many more speedrunners are indeed using mods. And given that these cheaters all spawned from the same group, it's obvious they were all in on it together. This never used to be such a widespread problem in Monster Hunter.
No.
It seems to have arisen within the last several years, and the reason is pretty logical. The monster
Yeah, I will be devastated not being able to use my Croissant Hammer mod, but at the same time, if it like gets rid of people like this who are giving the Monster Hunter community such a bad name, like it is a sacrifice that I am willing to have, to be honest.
Monster Hunter franchise has been around since 2004, but 2018 is when Monster Hunter World was released. This was an important entry to the franchise, because it was the first game to be released for the PC. PC is fantastic for the modding community.
Look at that. Oh, wait, is this what that one mod looks like? Because I have never touched this mod and I haven't even looked at it. Is this that DPS mod that everyone uses looks like? Oh, it looks horrible. It looks so bad. Look at the HP bar. Oh my gosh, it's so gross. It's the HP bar. Oh my god, it shows like how much stamina the monster has. It shows when their tail is gonna be cuttable. Ugh. This makes me want to vomit. This is so bad and so gross. And if any of you guys use this, I am so disappointed on you. I'm sorry. Like I am massively disappointed in any of my viewers who use this, and you should stop, and you should like get help and go to rehab to never use this again. It is so bad. Ugh.
Community, because so many tools already exist for the PC that allow people to access and edit game files and modify the game. It is much harder to modify games.
Oh, the fact that it is attached to the monster too, and just follows the monster. Ugh. I don't even if Hunter Pie has this, I don't like that either. Like, it's not even how ugly the UI looks, it's the fact of what it's showing. It's not gross because of how it looks, it's gross because of its showing stats that you should never see on a monster.
On console, because there is the added barrier of needing to develop specific software just to read and write files. And then when it comes to speedrunning on a PC, these modding tools also make it so much easier to cheat. On a PC, it's usually really simple to download a program that easily communicates with your game.
I'm low-key hoping the croissant shows up in this. I want one of the pastry mods to show up.
And changes the way it behaves. It's much harder.
There it is. There's the icky Hunter Pie. Sorry. I'm sorry. Hunter Pie is gross. The only time that I have been okay with Hunter Pie being used is using it for crown hunting, but using it for like, you can see, where's my mouse? You can see a monster health bar and everything. No, that's a big old note from me.
To find software that could achieve these same goals on a console. So this recent epidemic of players cheating by modifying the game's AI is a result of the game being released on the PC. And sure enough, all of the players that are caught cheating in this way play on PC.
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately, this new wave of cheaters have done irreparable damage to the Monster Hunter World speedrunning community. It's honestly impossible to know just how real something is if there aren't any glaringly obvious errors like
I hate that too. I also really hate DPS trackers. This isn't a World of Warcraft raid. Like, Monster Hunter, okay, I say this all the time, all right? I say it and I will never stop saying it. And honestly, all of Wild's new focus modes updates confirm what I say all the time. Monster Hunter is more than just how much DPS you do. Monster Hunter has jobs. Monster Hunter has like weak points you need to hit and tails you need to cut and KOing and all kinds of stuff. DPS has never been what Monster Hunter is about. It is not about how much damage you do, like, at all. So I don't even like DPS trackers.
Possible enemy AI. People will still continue to speedrun because they love the game, but
like, I'm a hammer user. My DPS is not as high as you would expect it is, right? Because my weapon's slow. I do like big damage numbies, but I'm slow. And I'm slow because my job is to knock that fucker over and break their horns and shit, not to do massive amounts of DPS. So don't DPS me.
They will always have to contend with other runners who modify the game and upload fake runs to YouTube. It's a sad situation all round, and especially for those dedicated runners that really do play the game legitimately. Thanks for watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day.
I was having a fantastic day until you reminded me that Monster Hunter cheaters exist.
And I will see you in the next video.
Man, that's just so sad. That's just like devastating that people do this, honestly. Like, I'm glad they're being called out, and I hope they get called out more and more. Oh, I got disconnected. I hope that they keep getting called out, because, man, I want them all to be called out. I want them all to be exiled from the community. I want them to be shunned. I want everyone to dislike people who cheat, and I don't want them in our community. They need to go bye-bye. Go bye-bye. You just did it between yourselves. Yeah, that's fine. I've literally had people in my Twitch chat tell me, like, my DPS being like, you had the lowest DPS per. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Because I'm not about DPS, okay? That's not my job. Like, I literally will, like, if someone comes into my Twitch chat and tells me my DPS numbers, they will either be timed out and potentially banned. Because don't do that to random streamers, please. My job to knock over and break horns and body parts that are breakable, and that's it. I'm very glad. I am super glad though that Carl's videos are actually like making their way to popularity, and because Juicy's videos are great. I love Juicy's videos, but Juicy doesn't have the same kind of traction that Carl has. So Carl's traction is like bringing light to the situation and making everything better. Also, hi everyone!